All right, so continuing our series, we're going to be talking about recip blades. And when it comes to recip blades or even cutting accessories, a lot of people start to think, Diablo or Freud or anything like that, right? But a lot of times, most people know there are a lot of replicas of those blades, right? So that's exactly what we're going to here find out today, because we're going to be looking at other blades that may potentially be copies of those blades. So we're going to go over some of the blades that may or may not be made in the same factory. You don't want to miss this. Stick with us. This right here is the Avanti Pro blade 6 to 12 variable TPI. The model number is PS0912AW. Wow, that's pretty big model number for a blade. Anyways, it's a bimetal blade designed for wood with nails, 9-inch wood with nails, and this one is Swiss made. Okay, if you look on the back side here, there's not really anything else to it except for a number that says 025. What does that mean? I'm not exactly too sure here. But let's go take a look at the important details, which is this variable teeth here. As you see right here, it's got tiny amounts of variable teeth here. Even the gussets for removing the debris is kind of small. And then as it fans out right here, right, as you can see, the gussets get bigger and the spacing between each tooth gets bigger. It kind of has like a mini tooth and then a bigger tooth. And then back over here, it's kind of got this plunge tip made tooth here, right? So this kind of came in a pack, came in this pack here called the Avanti Pro Pack 6 piece. This is the one that came out right here, the 9-inch version. And this one right here is the 9-inch, which is 6 to 12 TPI. And as we said right here, and you get one of these. It says up to 2 times the performance, okay? If this blade profile looks familiar, it's mainly because you've probably seen something similar to this in the previous episode that we've done with the Diablo blade. That's right. So this Diablo blade, if you look at it here, the teeth profile is very similar. Let me put this down here. The teeth profile, as you see, they're both 9-inch blades. So if you point out right here, you can see these teeth are actually very similar in design. And as it gets further out here, it's actually, even closer, right? So if you look at the teeth profile here, it's very similar. Even this plunge tip here, or even the edge design of these two blades right here, are exactly the same. It's got the same shape, right? The same shape here. And as this one is Swiss made, this Diablo blade is also Swiss made, okay? So most likely they're made in the same factory, or aka, let's say if Freud makes it for Avanti or other way around. The point is, there's some similarities that are being had there. The biggest difference between these two is the height of the blade. As you can see, the Diablo is a little bit longer, kind of gets you to help track, especially if you're tracing like a line cut or something like that. It's kind of easier to track with this, mainly because it's bigger. But if you're doing a lot more curved cuts, you'll probably be better off with this blade, right? Does it flex quite a bit? Yeah, it does, especially all the blades that are bimetal in this shape. They do kind of flex. If you want to look at the teeth offset, here you go, take a look at that. It's not super aggressive, but it is, a little bit aggressive. But as you would imagine on here, it's about exactly the same, right? So if you go take a look at these side by side, you can kind of tell the Avanti has a smaller, maybe a smidge more offset in the teeth, but other than that, they're pretty much very close to the same blade, okay? So let's go take a look at this Bosch blade. This Bosch blade is also Swiss made. Bosch for wood with nails. This is a 6 TPI bimetal blade. It's a 9-inch version, which is roughly around 225 millimeters, and the model number is RN96. And this one is standard 6 TPI, which means none of these teeth are varying in terms. There's pretty much all standard 6 all the way across, right? Even this edge here, you see. So this is 6 TPI. This one also came in a set, like this Bosch set here, 7-piece Bosch set, and this is this one right here, the 9-inch version, designed for wood with nails, right there. And if you turn it around to the back, this one right here is the 9-inch 6 TPI for wood with nails. This blade is 0.35 inches thick. The model number is RN. So this one, obviously, it says made for Robert Bosch Corporation. This blade is also made in Switzerland, and it is a BIM blade, which means bimetal. This blade features, the Bosch micro edge technology with 2x2 geometry, Bosch Innovation. You know, it's kind of got all this standard marketing stuff going up on here. We are taking a little bit of closer look on these blades, mainly because each one of these sets only came with one of these blades. So we're not going to be taking a good look at them after they've been worn out, or maybe we will, we'll see, or at least not comparing to a brand new blade, right? So even though all three of these blades are made in Switzerland, and the Bosch, or the Diablo and the Bosch, are both owned by, let's just say, the Bosch, Robert Bosch Corporation, in case you didn't know that. They also have, you know, Freud and all that kind of fun stuff, but the Bosch, Swiss made, Swiss made, Swiss made, okay? If you want to look at the blade profiles in terms of, you know, height profiles, it's pretty similar in terms of the height between this Bosch and this Avanti, but this Bosch has a lot steeper, or less steep. I don't know if it's steeper or less steep, but the tapered edge is longer than on this blade. Obviously, the teeth are variable, but you know, there are those differences. I did want to point that out. So without too much further ado, let's get into testing. All right, so some of those numbers did not go by quick, so let's go take a look at the recap. All right, first we ran the Bosch wood and nails blade into our standard test and a 16D framing nail test. It ran all three just fine, no problem. Cut all 36 with the average time of 15.09 seconds. All right, no problem, right? Running onto the drywall screws, that's where it failed after cutting about 5 screws or 5 fasteners, drywall screws. It failed. Okay, so you know there's not too much more to be said there. All right. Then we moved on to the Avanti Pro wood and nails blade, right? This is also a bimetal blade. And then on the 16D framing nail test, cut all 3 runs just fine, cut all 36 nails, but the average of the 3 runs was right around 22.97 seconds, all right? So, you know, it is not faster than the Bosch one, but, you know, it did cut it pretty quick, okay? Then moved on to the drywall screw test, and it failed after cutting 5 fasteners, interestingly enough. Started a bunch of smoke, and then we just had to stop the test, okay? So, where does that put these blades on the leaderboard? Let's go take a recap, all right? So, the Bosch wood and nails RN96 blade cut 36 nails, then the 5 screws, which puts it at a total cutting fastener, score of 41, right? And then the Avanti Pro also did the same thing with 41. So with 41, it ties the Milwaukee Axe bimetal blade, which also had 41, right? But the Axe bimetal blade was able to cut the nails, the 3 runs of nails, around 10.42 seconds, and the Bosch RN96 took about 15.09 seconds on average, and then the Avanti Pro took about 22.97 seconds on average to cut those same nails, okay? Same lumber, same nail, same saw, all that kind of stuff, okay? So, let's go take a look at what the Avanti Pro looks like compared to the Diablo demo demon, which it seems like it may have copied, right, in design. So, go take a look at the Diablo demo demon, which had a 8 and 14 TPI difference, whereas the Avanti Pro was 6 and 12. The Diablo demo demon bimetal cut all 36, but had took time about 25.80 seconds, right? So it was close to the Avanti Pro, but a little bit slower. And then on the drywall screws, it actually ended up cutting 7 fasteners versus the 5 on the Avanti Pro. So just putting out just a little bit ahead of that, right? So, there's that. What can we say about these blades, all right? So, these blades, they may or may not be made in the same factory. They're probably all at one point somehow reporting up to or owned by the Robert Bosch Corporation, since, Robert Bosch Corporation owns obviously Bosch and Freud and the Diablo brand, right? So actually, I'm not sure if they own Freud, but they definitely own at least the Diablo brand. So, there's that stuff going on. So with that being said, would I go out and buy these blades? Again, that's a great question. If for whatever reason, you needed to buy the cheapest possible blade right now. Actually, it's not even the cheapest, because the Bosch blade will come in around about $3 per blade, whereas the DeWalt bimetal blade, the demo wood with nails, was around $2. So short answer is no, I'll probably not buy these blades, right? Mainly because the blades are somewhere between $3 to $3.50 a blade, whereas you could just get $5, right, and then just get the Axe blade, right? Or you could just pay the additional, shell out the additional $7 more and get a carbide tipped blade, which is probably going to cause you less headache on the job, and that's probably exactly what you need on the job. You need a blade to do the job, so you don't stress out, right? So, there's that. So obviously, Bosch, Freud, Diablo, whatever, did not sponsor this video. We're just here to give you the numbers. I'm just here to tell you what the numbers are, but the short answer is I will not go buy these blades again. Hope this video helped you guys out. If you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, get back to work, and we'll see you guys next time.